What's up, everybody?
I'm Gabe.
And I'm Zach. Welcome back to Fantasy Family. We're back for our Week 10 preview and Week 9 review. Gabe, how good was the Week 9 action? Gabe, who was the all-star of Week 9?
CJ Stroud really showed his potential in getting 42 points against Tampa Bay, which has got a pretty good defense. So that shocked me.
What position player had the best week?
Tank Dell scored 29 points, and I also had him on my bench, so that stinks.
Yeah, the Texans are up and coming. They have a really good offense, so that's surprising a lot of people. So CJ Stroud is having a really good rookie year. I think he's surprising everybody. So Gabe, you didn't capitalize on having CJ Stroud and Tank Dell, and you didn't stack them this week?
Nope. I already had a stack. Eddie Brown, Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, you used your normal AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts stack. So hard to argue with that though. How about the Los Angeles Chargers defense? How many points did they score?
That was so surprising. Nobody was expecting their defense to get 30 points.
30 points from the Chargers.
The Chargers defense. Our defense is usually really bad, but they got 30 points. Amazing.
So far this year, what's the best way for a defense to look good?
What do you mean?
Is to play the New York Giants or the New York Jets. Chargers defensive performance really hurt me in my matchup because my opponent had the Chargers defense, and I had about a 40-point lead, and I lost that lead and lost my game this week because the Chargers' outstanding defense and special teams.
The teams on bye are the Philadelphia Eagles, the Miami Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Los Angeles Rams.
How many good fantasy players are on those teams?
A lot.
So you probably have a lot of holes to fill, so we'll use that in our analysis this week, thinking about how you may need to go deeper into positions to find somebody worth playing
The
this
first
week.
matchup is the Panthers at the Bears. For the Panthers, Adam Thielen, like we said last week, definitely start him. He's been really good. Don't start Bryce Young. He still is not doing really good. Chuba Hubbard, better than Miles Sanders. Still don't start him because you're probably going to have better running backs. Same for Miles Sanders. Don't start him. He has just been, trash. That's all we need to say about the Panthers because they're terrible.
All right, for the Bears, Justin Fields, his status is still up in the air, so he probably won't play this week. Bagent would be an emergency use quarterback. For the Bears backfield, your choices are really Roschon Johnson and Deontay Foreman. Both are not great options, but if you're in a deep league, you may end up having to play them. DJ Moore I'd probably play, and the rest of the Bears wideouts I would stay away from.
Yep.
Okay, how good has Cole Kmet been the last 2 weeks?
He's been pretty good, not bad. He's been a decent option. He is questionable, so be on the lookout for that.
Goddard's the one that fractured his wrist. But he got 2 touchdowns this past week. He's been really good. Kmet has been really great these past 2 weeks. Got 2 touchdowns in week 9. So Kmet is an auto start at this point.
No.
If you have Kmet, you're playing him. Sunday morning, there's another 9:30 game, so be sure to set your lineups. Sunday morning at 9:30 Eastern, they're playing in Germany again. The Indianapolis Colts are playing the New England Patriots.
For the Patriots, probably don't start Ramondre Stevenson. He hasn't been doing that good. Don't start Mac Jones, Demario Douglas. Don't start either. Same for Ezekiel Elliott. Hunter Henry, he was doing good earlier this season, but now he's not doing too good, so probably don't start Hunter Henry.
For Hunter Henry, the Colts are a really good matchup against the tight end. So if you're missing your tight end, Hunter Henry might be an option to throw in your lineup this week.
28?
All right, for the Colts, Gardner Minshew remains a mid-level quarterback. You could use Gardner Minshew if you needed him. In week 9, Jonathan Taylor fully took over the Indianapolis backfield, so Zach Moss is probably going to be relegated to a low-end flex play, or if you need him in a deeper league. I wouldn't expect too much out of Zach Moss going forward. I think this is the Jonathan Taylor show for the rest of the season. Michael Pittman remains a very good option at wide receiver. The next game is a Sunday 1 p.m. game. The Houston Texans at the Cincinnati Bengals. For the Bengals, obviously start Joe Burrow, start Joe Mixon, start Jamar Chase. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd remain those toss-up plays. Probably play Higgins and sit Boyd.
For the Texans, CJ Stroud, if you've got him and you have another bad quarterback, probably start him. Nico Collins, start him. He's been pretty good. Dalton Schultz had a phenomenal week last week with 27 points. Tank Dell he hasn't been bad. You could start him if you got like AJ Brown or Tyreek Hill and they're on a bye. Damian Pierce might be back this week. Devin Singletary probably not. He still hasn't been that good. He's averaging 4 points, which is not that good.
What about Noah Brown? Did we think that's just a fluke last week, or he's somebody that we should try to start every week?
What did he do? How many points? What? Noah Brown, that was probably a fluke.
CJ Stroud was ripping them apart. Next up is Saints at Vikings. For the Saints, Derek Carr has been pretty consistent in mid to high teens, occasionally hitting 20 points per game. So Derek Carr is definitely startable if you need him. Start Alvin Kamara. I would start Chris Olave, but probably sit Michael Thomas and Rashid Shaheed. They're both very low floor, high ceiling plays. You just really need them to hit on a deep ball that scores a touchdown for them to be viable. Taysom Hill remains a very intriguing player. You could set him in a flex spot and play your normal tight end, put Taysom Hill in a flex, and he might throw a touchdown. He might run a touchdown. He's probably not going to continue to be 20 plus points per week, but he very well could do that any given week. If you're looking for a high risk, high reward option, try to play Taysom Hill.
For the Vikings, start Joshua Dobbs. He's been pretty good. TJ Hawkinson's questionable, so if he does play, obviously start him. Alexander Madison, he hasn't been bad. He's averaging 10 points, so you might can start him if you really need to. Jordan Addison's been pretty good. You probably should start him if you need to. All right, for the Packers, Aaron Jones has been pretty good, so start Aaron Jones. Jordan Love was doing good. Now he's showing his true colors and not being a great quarterback. Christian Watson is not doing good. We haven't seen him doing as good as he was last year. We know he will come back. Jaden Reed hasn't been bad. AJ Dillon, he's been pretty good, not bad at all. And Luke Musgrave, he hasn't been too good, so probably don't start him.
For the Steelers, I would stay away from Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett, whoever ends up starting. Najee Harris has become a low RB2 play, pretty consistent, 12 to 15 points, sometimes a little bit more. I would start Deontay Johnson, absolutely. You could play Pickens, but he may score you 15 points, or he might score you 2 or 3 points, which is what happened last week. Still a second-year player and just not being used very much in the offense, so use caution with George Pickens. Stop.
Next matchup, Titans at Buccaneers. For the Titans, Derrick Henry, start him, forget about it. Will Levis, he did good the first week he played, but then he got 8 points in the Thursday night game.
Break your finger.
And DeAndre Hopkins, probably start him the other week. He got 34 points, so that was pretty good. Probably start him, but then the Thursday night football game last week, he only got 10 points. What happened to Rachaad White last week?
Rachaad White scored 2 touchdowns and had a lot of catches. So Rachaad White, career day. This is what we wanted when we drafted him in those middle rounds. So hopefully Rachaad White will continue this elite production. Baker Mayfield is a pretty good option, not great, but you may need him with as many elite quarterbacks that are on bye. Baker Mayfield is definitely an option you could use in week 10. I would continue to play Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and hopefully Baker can continue to increase targets for both of those receivers.
Oof, oof, oof.
Cade Otton is a decent option, not real consistent, but last week he got into the end zone 2 times and scored 23 PPR points. The next matchup is 49ers at Jaguars.
For the Jaguars, Travis Etienne is very definitely startable. He's been amazing. Travis Etienne is definitely startable. Start him every single week. He's been amazing. Trevor Lawrence has been not bad. He's quarterback 17. You can probably start him if you need to. Calvin Ridley, probably. He's been pretty good. Christian Kirk has been pretty good too. Evan Ingram is doing pretty good, so probably start him too. Zay Jones might be back, and if he is, probably don't start him because they've got Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk, and Tank Bigsby also don't start.
For the 49ers, Brock Purdy is in that same category as Baker Mayfield. You probably end up needing to play him this week with as thin as the QB position is, but not a great play, but not terrible either. Start Christian McCaffrey forever and ever. Deebo Samuel is still questionable.
He might play, he might not.
Brandon Ayuk is definitely a starter, and you can use Juwan Jennings in a tight spot if you need him. Start George Kittle.
Obviously. Next matchup, Browns at Ravens. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson start every week. Forget about it. Same for Mark Andrews. Gus Edwards has been doing pretty good, so probably start him. Zay Flowers, pretty good. Justice Hill, another not bad of a flex option. What? Deshaun Watson's not questionable anymore?
For the Browns, Deshaun Watson had a good game in Week 9, so hopefully that will repeat in Week 10. Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt are splitting the backfield, so it's hard to start either one of them. They're both serviceable, but both are going to get you 8 to 12 points and probably not a whole lot more. Start Amari Cooper. Now that Donovan Peoples-Jones is gone, Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman are very low-end options, but you might end up needing them this week. David Njoku is the 17th ranked tight end, so unless you're in an 18 or 20 team league, there are probably better options out there. To start the 4 p.m. games on Sunday, the Falcons go west to Arizona, and they play the Cardinals.
For the Falcons, they're starting Taylor Heineke for now. I don't know why they're not starting Desmond Ridder. I want Desmond Ridder back for the Falcons. What?
Ridder is terrible.
Ridder's not terrible. He's not terrible. I hope he's back soon because he's better than Taylor Heineke. And Bijan Robinson start him. Drake Londonson might play, might not. He was out last week. If he does, probably don't start him because you probably got other options out there. Tyler Algier, probably don't start him either. Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith, if you've got them, start them because they've been pretty good.
For the Cardinals, Kyler Murray has been activated onto the 53-man roster, so I expect Kyler Murray to be the starting quarterback this Sunday. Kyler Murray is an explosive player, so it would be hard not to start him. James Conner, the Cardinals hope to open the 21-day practice window for James Conner this week, so he could return to the active roster sometime in the next 3 weeks. In the meantime, I would stay away from DeMarcado and Keontae Ingram. They have both been substandard the weeks that they've been playing. Marquise Brown has been below 8 points 3 of his past 4 weeks, so I would only use him as a desperation play. After Trey McBride's 25-point performance 2 weeks ago, he came back down to the earth with just 5 PPR points this week. Still usable, but he's a tight end with a low floor, so just know that going in. Next matchup is Lions at Chargers. For the Lions, Jared Goff remains a good option for quarterback. David Montgomery returned to practice on Tuesday this week, so just monitor his status. If he plays, I would play him and Jahmyr Gibbs. If it's just Jahmyr Gibbs, all the better. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a lineup lock. Start him.
He's been amazing.
Josh Reynolds and Jameson Williams are definitely more low-end desperation plays. Play Sam Laporta.
For the Chargers, definitely start Justin Herbert every week. He's been really good. Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, they've all been really good, so start all of them. Quentin Johnson hasn't been so good. Don't start him. Gerald Everett, their tight end, probably don't start him. He wasn't good as last year, so probably don't start him. Joshua Kelly, still don't probably start him. Next matchup, Giants at Cowboys. For the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, start him. He's been really, really good these last 2 weeks. Dak Prescott's been pretty good, so start him too. Tony Pollard's been pretty good, start him. Turd Ferguson. Jake Ferguson has been a decent tight end option. Probably don't start him if you got like one of the top 10 tight ends. Michael Gallup, not good, so don't start him. Same for Brandon Cooks and Rico Diddle.
For the New York Football Giants, Tommy DeVito will be the starting quarterback. Daniel Jones is out for the year with the torn ACL, so the Giants season continues to get worse and worse. Start Saquon Barkley and bench anyone and everyone else from the Giants.
Next matchup, Commanders at Seahawks, and not the Redskins at Seahawks. For the Seahawks, Geno Smith hasn't been that good. Probably don't start Geno Smith. Kenneth Walker has been really good this season, but these last 2 weeks, 8 and 2 points. So you still got to start him. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, if you got an amazing wide receiver duo, then don't start them. Maybe put them in your flex. What about Jackson Smith and Najigba? He's been pretty good. Zach Charbonnet hasn't been too good, so probably don't start him. No.
For the Redskins, Sam Howell has. For the Washington Commanders, Sam Howell has been up and down, but is actually a pretty decent streaming option. Brian Robinson Jr. is not going to blow your socks off, but is surprisingly consistent, about the 12th ranked running back overall, so you're going to start Brian Robinson. I would start Scary Terry McLaurin, and lately Jahan Dotson has looked pretty good as well. Logan Thomas is a very mid-level tight end, but you may need him. There's probably better options out there than Logan Thomas, but you may be in a pickle and need to play him. This is for the Sunday night football game. The New York Jets are going west to play the Raiders in Las Vegas.
For the New York Jets, Breece Hall's been really good these last few weeks. Start Breece Hall like running back 2. Garrett Wilson's been pretty good. Probably start him. Zach Wilson, don't ever start him. Don't start Dalvin Cook. He hasn't been very good. Michael Carter, not good. Al Lazard, not very good either. Tyler Conklin, their tight end, hasn't been very good either. The Jets are bad. So only the 2 of their must-starts are Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson.
The Raiders had a really good game last week against the Giants. They're hoping to continue that momentum after the coaching change. I would stay away from Aiden O'Connell. He's probably going to continue to start. Jimmy Garoppolo has been benched.
Why?
Josh Jacobs had a good game. Hopefully his season is back on track. I would play Devontae Adams and I would play Jacoby Myers. Those 2 receivers cannot continue to have the low numbers that they've had the last few weeks. So start them and they will get turned around very quickly.
Next matchup, the Monday Night Football game, Broncos at Bills. So the Bills start like almost everybody. Josh Allen, start him. Stephon Diggs, start him. James Cook, probably start him. Dalton Kincaid has been pretty good, start him. Gabe Davis has been pretty good. If you don't have to start him, don't start him. If you do need to start him, start him.
How many points did Gabe Davis get last week?
I don't know, like 17 points.
0.
Some of the weeks before last week, he was doing really good. 23, ignore week 7, week 6. He got 22 points against Jacksonville, 15, 10, 21. Not a bad flex option.
For the Broncos, Russell Wilson is a low-end quarterback option. Probably try to use someone like Geno Smith or Baker Mayfield or Joshua Dobbs if he's available. You could roll the dice and play Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, or Cortland Sutton. None of them have been great this year, but you probably drafted them and you need them to produce, so good luck with that.
And that's it. That's all we have for you today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. See ya.
Remember, guys, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. See you next time.
Pow! Okay. He only got 17 points.
Whoa.
Ah!
Quiet on the set.
Oh, and Devil. And their running backs did nothing. TJ Hotch. TJ Hotch. Mommy.
All right, Green Bay at Pittsburgh. Who are you doing?
Say that again. I was picking my nose.
I would continue to play Chris Godwin. He scored 2 touchdowns? Yeah, he scored 2 touchdowns last week.
Browns at. Thought he was out.
Well, he's moved to 12-team leagues. Probably don't.
David
need to-
Njoku.
Probably don't need to start him.
Yes, start him.
He's the 17th ranked, unless you're in that 18 or 20 team league. Shh.
And stop making faces.
Kyler Murray is an explosive player. Stop doing that.
Okay, I can't help it.
32-point game.
What?
It's been pretty good.
Say that again. Not Redskins. Please don't do that.
Good. A little
Say
bit
the
up and down.
Commanders. Please say that again. Say the whole thing again for the Commanders.
Okay, we're probably
We're almost done.
85% of the way done. Okay. Shh. Throw the visor down here.
Or J. Lee McLaughlin. Or J. Lee McLaughlin. What?
Jalil.
Seriously? Or Jalil McLaughlin. Or Jalil Or Jalil McLaughlin. Or Jalil or Samaj Piran and Jalil McLaughlin.
Remember, guys, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be.